Hi guys, it's Stu. Just going to do another inbox review of a smashing little classic kit that came through via Hermes this morning. It is the early version of the M4 Sherman, which was made by Tamiya and came out around about 1995. So effectively this kit is around about 20 years old, but I've had a look at it, and to be honest with you, the level of detail on it is fantastic. Anyway, let's get on with the review. As you can see, you've got the familiar white box art on the front of the actual box, which is fantastic, and it depicts the early version which was used in France around about 44. And then on the side of the box you've got an overhead view of the actual vehicle itself, and then further along you've got an illustration of some of the spare bits on the kit, such as the oil can, jerry can, spare helmet, fill bag and spare wheel, as well as spare tracks, and obviously the commander's figure. Also on the far end of the kit number, if you are interested in knowing and trying to obtain it on eBay, is 351902800, and judging by the writing on the bottom, it is actually a Japanese import, so it's quite a rare one to get hold of. Then you've got another view of another version of the actual tank on the side, which I think is the British version, and then a back and rear view here, so that will come in handy if you need any reference material. Right, having done that, let's have a look and see what's inside the box. Again, as you can see, you've got the familiar Tamiya instruction sheet, giving you a little history about the vehicle itself, and obviously because this was the most widely used vehicle, around about 50,000 of them were produced in all variants, but we are mainly concerning ourselves with the early production, which was the M4A1, and judging by the illustration on the top, it's going to make a superb little kit. Right, upon opening the instructions, you again got the familiar colour callouts in Tamiya colours. Again, as I said in an earlier video, there is an app you can download called a colour coordinating app or something like that. Failing that, one of Alex from Alex Modelling videos has actually got the app on him, features it in there, so that's where I got the information from. So thank you, Alex. First stage is the assembly of the lower hull, and then you've got the front torsion bars as well as the front of the hull itself, which is the early version, and adding more gear there to enhance the look of the kit. And then obviously down here you've got the alternate version of a later model, which is a one-piece version. Okay, so that's depending on which version you want to build, because there is about 3 or 4 versions in this kit. Then you've got the assembly of the rear panel, where the engine axis is at the back of the tank, and then up here you've got the air filters, how they're assembled and then applied to the back of the hull and the back plate, which is in the process on the lower hull again. Then the assembly of the running gear, and as you all know, with the Sherman it had separate bogies, so you got about 4 sets I think on this to build up. Unlike Mike Cohen's review of the Edward kit, which actually is a bit more detailed and is of the Tasker range, this one doesn't actually have an operational running gear. Okay. Next stage after that, as you can well know, is the assembly of all the bogies to the lower hull and the sprockets, as well as the tow bars. Okay, let me pull that over a little bit further so you can actually see. Okay, guys. Then we go on to the assembly of the upper hull with all the engine hatches, okay, and the back plate. And then obviously the next thing you do is have a look at the actual colour guide to the driver and the gunner. Now I may well leave the driver out, but the gunner I may well forget, because I don't think there's much. It's going to look ridiculous, to be honest with you, and I'd rather show the driver than the gunner, to be honest. So that's what I'm going to do, and this is showing you how it's assembled. Now apparently according to them you do it before you put the 2 main hulls together. I will not. I will actually add the crew through once the kit is virtually near the end, which is what I normally do. Then you got the assembly of all the extra spare parts which go onto the upper hull, including the machine gun, headlights and hatches, in case you don't want to show the crew. Okay, and then the assembly of the frames which go around the actual headlights, and then adding of all the spare tools, front and back, and then obviously more frames to the back headlights, as you can see there, and the air filters. And then it goes on to the assembly of the actual barrel and housing itself, as you can see there. And in some parts you won't need to glue it, you just put rubber rings so that the actual barrel can actually move up and down on the kit, which I think is a very good feature. And then interestingly, you've got a little bit of interior detail on the inside of the turret with the radio deck. Okay. Then it's the assembly of the barrel to the turrets. Okay. Then on to adding the commander's cupola and other accessories, which you can see here, and all the hatches. Okay, as well as where the antenna is going to go. Next stage after that is the assembly of the turret, the machine gun, and everything else which goes to the main hull. Okay, and again you've got a painting guide to the commander's figure. Now, apparently you've actually got two in here, so you've got the option of two figures if you want to. Okay. Then it's basically the assembly of all the extra stowage if you want to add it to the tank, which I probably will do because I want it to make it look as though it's packed out, and I might possibly do a little vignette for this one. I don't know, we'll see. Okay, so that's the final assembly stages, as you can see there. Then we're moving on to the colour callouts. The first one is of an unknown unit in France in summer 1944, so I should imagine it's around about the D-Day era. And then you've got one of a particular unit which was based on the 756th Tank Brigade, 5th Army, Italy, February 1944. So I might possibly do this colour scheme as opposed to the boring olive drab. And your third option, which is another one I might consider, is a British one. It's actually of the head commander, 66th Armoured Regiment, 2nd Armoured Division, Normandy, August 1944. So it's probably around about the latter part of the Normandy campaign, around about the Battle of Caen. Okay, so that might well be the version I'm actually going to finally go for. Alright. Right, that's the instruction sheet over and done with. Bit lengthy, but never mind. Next thing is, whoever packed this, thank you very much. You put a nice lot of bubble wrap in here to protect the kit. It's a pity more people don't do it, so thank you again. Right, first stage, as you can see here, is all the running gear, and obviously some of the accessories, as well as the suspension arms and jerry cans, and the level of detail on them is absolutely super. And then obviously you can see, I think that's the gunner alongside the driver, which I think is a lower part of the sprue here. Okay, and then obviously you've got some of the stowage there, which you can see if I can get it into focus, and that will come up lovely with a wash. Okay, there we go. If I pull back a bit, you can see, and as I say, with the figures, I know he's upside down, the level of detail again is rather nice. Alright, now one particular sprue I am going to show you is this one. It's actually the turret itself, and as you can see they've actually caught the casting on it beautifully, which is actually a little bit more than Tasker kit can actually show you. This is gorgeous, so you won't have to put any Mr. Surfacer or anything like that on it, because it just enhances the detail beautifully. Okay, and as you can see you've got the housing there. Again, you've got the lovely cast detail on there. Okay, so that's nice, very very nice I have to say. And obviously right here is the actual radio deck, which goes on the interior of the turret. If I can get the damn thing to focus again. Come on, you devil. There you go. Again, that will come up nicely with a little pin wash, etc. Beautiful. Next stage is obviously the front of the actual vehicle, which you can see there. That's the back plate again, and I like the way they caught the texture of the actual welding on it as well. And then obviously you've got one of two Commander's figures. You can have one relaxed and the other one on a radio, I think. Maybe mistaken. But again, that will come up lovely with a wash. Really, really nice. Okay. And there's the machine gun, which you can see here, if I can get it into focus. That's the MG. Oh, come on. Sorry about this, guys. No, is it gonna? Yeah, there you go. It's the best I can do, I'm afraid. Sorry about the shaky camera work, but when you're using a mobile phone, it's not always easy. As you can see there, that will come up with a nice dry brush or a pencil. There we go. Lovely. And again, you got another figure under here, which is the alternate figure, which is on the final sprue. Okay, and obviously you've got all the hatches. Again, look at the castings detail. They're beautifully caught. Absolutely gorgeous. Really, really pleased about this. And then also, again, if you look at the upper hull, the texture on it is really well caught. Absolutely gorgeous. And even the weld seams look fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I'm really pleased with this. It is really beautifully done. Okay, and then obviously you've got the lower hull, which you can see again. They've caught the texture absolutely beautifully, and that will come up nice with a bit of weathering. Really, it will. Right, the only unfortunate thing that is the downturn on this, as we all know, is the Tamiya tracks. Although the detail on them is very well caught. But as I say, what I'm going to do is get the AFE aftermarket tracks, because just like the Walker Bulldog, when I put them on, they just fell on there beautifully. So I'll be using them as an aftermarket source. But if you want to use the rubber tracks yourself, all mean well. Fine, fair enough to yourself. Final bit, as you can see here, is the decal sheet itself. Not too shiny, so I don't think I'm going to have a lot of problems with putting these down, to be honest with you. Unlike most decals with Tamiya. Famous last words. There you go. And that, my friends, is the Tamiya M4A1 Sherman early version tank. If you want to get hold of one, there's plenty of them you can get on eBay or any other sort of kit source. I don't know if they're still available on the normal kit source, but I just saw this one and snapped it up, to be honest with you, because I've always wanted to have a Sherman in my stash, and you can't really not have a Sherman in your stash, to be honest with you, if you're doing armour. I have got another one coming through from Tim at Tim Iverts at Value Kits, which is the one that was used out in the early part of the war. But all told, this is a beautiful little kit, and I think it's going to make a smashing little kit when it's made. As I say, I might well use it in a diorama or a vignette, I don't know yet. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, subscribe. If you didn't, well, no problem. I don't have a problem with that. All I wanted to do is share the hobby with yourselves and share you this kit. If I were you, I'd definitely go out and snap one, but as I say, you may be able to source these on eBay now. Alright, so anyway, that's it for now. All that remains to say is get kit crazy, happy modelling, and I'll see you on the next video.